What's going on, fam? It's your man, VACAY-JAY, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Bel-Air, episode 6 recap. This one was truly loaded, so we're going to definitely break this down. Don't forget to check out all my episode recaps. Let's break this down. So the name of this episode is Let the Best Man Win, and the description reads, Phil hosts the Banks family reunion, and Carlton works hard to impress his dad. Will considers accepting the Founders Award nomination. All right, family. So yes, we are at the Banks mansion, and it's time. It's time for that family reunion. They're getting everything prepared, but one thing that has to be prepared is Aunt Viv when it comes down to playing spades. Now, y'all already know the biggest and most serious game at the family reunions is spade. And if you don't know how to play, yeah, they definitely gonna talk trash about you and the whole family, right? So she definitely is trying to learn the game, and he's trying to teach her the game, but he's asking her for a favor. He's asking her to, take care of mom because she doesn't want to stay at the Four Seasons, and she needs a ride from the airport, and at the same time needs her room to be set up. So with everything that Aunt Viv has on her plate, of course she agrees, reluctantly, but this is for Phil and the family. So here comes Jeffrey, and it's time. It's time for everybody to get ready for this family reunion, and there's a whole lot to do. All right. So now Will rolls up on Carlton. Carlton trying to be Diesel. He working out in the mirror and the whole nine. And Will rolls in there because he wants to talk to him because he's trying to take that Founders Award serious, and he wanted to talk to him first. He understands, what happened at that rally. Nobody wants to trigger Carlton. And Carlton's just like, yo, you do whatever you want to do. But now you're trying to take it serious. And he knows that that's Carlton's thing. So he's trying to, just be considerate of Carlton. Carlton's like, yo, whatever, man. It's not like you're really going to win or whatever. So now they're in a little bit of competition. So Will is just going to definitely go for the award. And they're going to do what they got to do. So here we go. Jeffrey fesses up to actually searching the house and looking for information on his son. Of course, Uncle Phil is like, thank you for being honest and upfront. He's like, yo, I'm concerned about my son. I know he's okay. I know what the deal is, but I still want to see my son. So, Uncle Phil is like, listen, man, we got rules in place, and you know what it is. Aunt Viv was like, listen, we understand what it means to hold people back from their family. It kind of blew up in our face with Will. So here's some information. It's not exactly what you need, but here's a little bit of information. So she gives him a folder. And what does he see? He sees a picture of his son. And he gets a little emotional because he hasn't seen him in a long time. Grandma's here. And Grandma, from 227. Grandma from the Wayne's brothers. She was the security guard, and she's hugging up on everybody. Everybody's welcoming Grandma Banks to the household, and everybody's happy to see her, right? Of course, she's up in there ranting and raving and giving hugs and come here. I haven't seen you since you was a little baby. You know how it is at the family reunion. And of course, she's talking to her son, talking about he's looking good, but he's too good to pick her up from the airport. She getting on him already, right? He's like, Mom, I'm preparing everything and making sure everything is good for your arrival. And, she has a whole bag of greens up in there. So those greens was in that hot sun in the hot cabin. So, of course, she's going to need a little bit of help cleaning those greens and getting it ready for the family reunion. Of course, the girls and Will is like, yeah, we're going to help you clean these greens. So they in there, and Ashley's like, yeah, you got to do it this way. You got to do it that way. And Will's like, listen, I used to do this with moms back in the day. I'm good. I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. While she's making a pie for Uncle Phil, she's asking Will, has she heard from Jazz? Because she's been messaging him all day. And, Jazz feels some type of way because she didn't really tell him that, her ex-boyfriend was an NFL player and that he was coming to her event and everything else like that. And they're like, yeah, we would have left you on red too. So here comes Uncle Phil. He wanted to taste, a little bit of the pie, and he lets her know, hey, listen, a little bit more nutmeg will make it happen. So he's like, see, I know what I'm doing. I'm helping out, because he heard the conversation. Now we see Jeffrey, and he's looking at the folder that Aunt Viv gave him. Will walks in there like, yo, man, what's going on, man? I don't want to be the only, non-Banks up in here. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, right? He's like, don't worry, I got your back. I'm gonna let you know who's who does what, whatever the case is, auntie this and auntie that. So Jeffrey got his back because Jeffrey knows the entire family. So of course, Will's like, yo, I appreciate that. And the whole nine. He's like, all right, I'll see you in a minute. But of course, Will got to snoop over and see exactly what Jeffrey was looking at in that folder. And that's right. That's a picture of Jeffrey's son and a little bit of information on where he is. So, of course, Will is like, yo, who is this guy, right, that he's looking at? Now, here we go with Aunt Viv, boy. And she's like, yeah, you forgot your phone, but looks like, Erica called, and he's like, okay, thanks for my phone. You already know he's about to hear from Aunt Viv. So here we go with Will talking to Carlton like, yo, man, why was Jeffrey looking at a picture of this guy that looked just like him? He's like, oh, that must be his son. And he's like, what? Jeffrey got a son? Yo, what's up with that? He all screaming. He's like, yo, shh, it's like a little secret. We don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We don't really talk about it because he can't really see him. Here comes Jeffrey walking across the walkway, looking up. He obviously, he's 007. He hears everything. So they looking down like, yo, what's up, Jeffrey? What's up? And they're like, he said he's concerned about it. So Will is definitely going to probably talk to him about it. So here we go. And once again, here comes Aunt Viv. And they're talking about, why is his ex-girl calling? It's like, yeah, I ran into her and everything else like that. She wants me to, become like a partner at the firm. And she's like, really? Like, that's your ex? Like, you even considering that? And he's like, yeah, I am considering that. He said, yeah, we definitely going to talk about it. And I was waiting to talk to you about it. But here goes Ashley. She's like, they're here. It's time to go, So they're going to have to talk about this later because, Aunt Viv definitely has concerns. And she's like, all right, well, go ahead. It's time to get this party started. We'll talk about this later. Trouble. So here they are with the big vans and everything. The whole family coming through. And that's right. The Banks, they're ready for all the fam to come through for this family reunion. They getting off the bus. They got extra stuff. They probably brought food. And there's Jeffrey talking to Will, said, okay, this is Aunt Boo Boo, this is your cousin Mike, this is this person, that person. He's saying hello to him in the whole nine, and Will is trying to keep up. So he's like, yo, run that back again. Will is not picking up. There's so many people to pick up with. So, of course, he's greeting everybody like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? He's like, yo, what's up, Auntie? What's up, cousin Boo Boo? What's up, Nene, Pookie? All of them, right? He's getting the names wrong. But he's like, auntie to all the aunts, right? So Ashley rolls up on, the patriarch of the family, the oldest uncle of the family. And he don't really got too much to say, and, Hillary's just like, don't worry about it. He doesn't have a lot of words to say. And, Ashley thinks he's rude, but he just don't got a lot of words to say. He an older dude. So here we are at the Banks family reunion from North Carolina to California. Who rolls in? Bill Bellamy rolls in playing the brother of Uncle Phil. Bill Bellamy, man. Super funny dude. Rolling up in there, sharp as a tack. And, he's playing the big brother. And here comes his son. And, of course, Aunt Viv was like, oh, I remember when you was a little kid. Good to see you. Good to see you. And he got these big bags rolling up in there like he about to move in. So, of course, he's talking to Carlton like, oh, I see what hasn't grown. Carlton, you're still a little short. And, of course, Carlton, he's talking junk back like, yo, we got the trophy on lock. Don't even worry about it. So, of course, big bro is going at it with Uncle Phil. They going back and forth. They got a swingless slongs like, yo, we going to win a championship. We won last year. We're going to win again. And here comes Grandma Banks. And she's like, listen, language, cut the language out. I need a little taste. And Uncle Phil's like, when you start tasting, right? So Will is like, yo, what's in the bags? Guess what? Your boy made the Banks family reunion T-shirts. He's like, how you going to have a family reunion without no T-shirts, right? Daddy would roll over in his grave, right? So Will is looking at it like, yeah, Banks Motors. What is this? Banks Southeast Motors. And he's like, yeah, your uncle, he's a car dealer. He's like, yo, get your facts straight, man. I own multiple car dealerships. We're the #1 in the South. He's like, yeah, it says it right there on the shirt. So it's like free advertising. So he moves his son out of the way and says, listen, nephew, if you need a car, let me know. I got, your cousin a Jeep, when he got his grades right. He's like, well, the only reason why my grades was messed up because I broke my rib. He's like, everybody breaks a rib. So they go back and forth. Carlton plays lacrosse. They both play lacrosse. But it looks like Carlton's cousin was #1. They went to state championship and they actually won, right? So here goes the back and forth competition. So here we are with Uncle Phil. He's just welcoming everybody and thanking, moms and everybody in the whole tradition of the Banks family with the family reunion. Mom's definitely getting a shout out. Everybody's clapping. It's all good. They're going to have fun. They're going to have their competitions and everything else like that. Here comes Big Brother Banks, talking about, yeah, bro, we can't start this without praising the Lord. So, scoot on over, scoot on over. Uncle Phil, he about to say something, and Aunt Viv was like, don't do that. The Lord is watching. That was super funny, right? So they go in prayer, and everybody's praying for the food. So they doing the barbecue thing. It looks like a great family reunion in the pool. And now they playing bones. For those that don't know what bones is, they're playing dominoes. So, of course, Will is keeping score. And, they're having a good time. And Will is like, hey, I see you started your own dealerships and you're #1. How did you do that? Did you go to school for that? He's like, nah, I didn't go to school for that. Didn't get a degree. That's Phil's thing, right? That's Phil's thing. I just put blood, sweat, and tears up in it, made it happen. And absolutely now we're the #1 in the South. School is, all right, nothing against school, but I put my blood, sweat, and tears in it, So Will's like, okay, self-made man. Of course, you got the cousins looking on and, his son is like, yeah, I know what it is. And Uncle Phil is just like, yo, 15, write that down. Right now, again, the son didn't call it out. So he's like, I told you to keep calling it out. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing stuff and da-da-da-da. So the son feels bad. And Jeffrey's like, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. So here we go. Hillary has been texting Jazz all day, leaving her on read. And she hears a voice. And who is it? Yeah, it's LaMarcus. Yeah, her ex-boyfriend rolling through. And, of course, Grandma's like, is that, you better come over here and give me a hug, right? Of course, she like, oh, dang, he's here again. So she rolls up on Uncle Phil and like, yo, why did you bring my ex here? Why did you invite him? Well, you invited him to your event. And, one thing that we never had is an NFL player at our family reunion. So he's trying to outdo his brother. So Will rolls up on Hillary like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yeah, that's why you got to keep it from Jazz. He's like, yo, my lips are sealed, but he knows that it's wrong. So Hillary's showing off her artwork, of course, to her cousins and whatever. And Uncle Phil's like, yo, can I borrow her for a second? I need my partner, I need my teammate. And she's like, oh, teammate? Oh, that's why you told me about, your ex-girlfriend calling? And he's like, yo, I'm telling you, like, she wants me to be a partner at the firm. He's like, what? And he's like, yo, listen, stop making it a problem. Like, I was in college, it's over. Like, I love you. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to really worry about. So can we play this spades game? Can we do this? She's like, all right. So they're in there playing spades. Grandma Banks, she puts down a card. And, Aunt Viv was like, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Of course, his big bro was talking junk. He's like, yeah, we about to beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking about having Mom possibly come out to, L.A. and Bel-Air. And he's like, yo, you got options? And he's like, yo, it's your turn. So Aunt Viv is acting like she don't know what she's doing. And, Grandma Banks is like, yo, it's your turn. So Uncle Phil's trying to coach her and is like, no. She's a grown woman. She knows how to play this card game. And Grandma's like, yo, I hope you can hold your own weight. So she's like looking at, big bro. And then she's acting like she doesn't know what card to put down. And then she tosses the card down. And that's right. She won the game. That's right. She got all the books that they put down. Of course, she's like, this is my house. What? Big bro is like, Ma, I told you, stop drinking when you're playing spades. She's like, if you talk about my drinking again, I'm going to kill you. Of course, Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv, they happy they won the game. So Ashley brings over the oldest living relative plate of food. And she's like, yeah, I didn't know what you want, so I got you everything. She's trying to be sweet, as she always is, trying to warm up to him so, he can actually just talk to us. Food definitely brings out everything. So he acting like he going to sleep or whatever, like he's not interested. So Hillary's looking around and she sees her ex-boyfriend playing the piano like a broke Stevie Wonder. And she's like looking at him and, it sounds good. Everybody's praising him. He's chilling with this young boy right here, giving him 5. She's like, listen, can we talk for a second, without the kid? He's like, yeah, we could talk. So she's like, listen, I got a man. I don't know what you think you're trying to do. This feels good. But, you know, I got a man. He's like, oh, this feels good, huh? She's like, yo, we're not getting back together. I'm just letting you know. He's like, yo, you broke my heart, you know, and the whole nine. She's like, yeah, but, you know, like, you don't be trying to get back with me. He's like, listen, you the one that started. You called me to ask me to come to your event, and I'm doing a solid for your father now and coming through. So he's like, yo, we having a push-up contest, so he has to go. So Jeffrey's like, listen, it's time for the pie competition. So we got all of these pies, you know, pie stand corrected. We got this other pie here, pie any means necessary. And we got super fly pie. And we got hot pie summer. Now, hot pie summer, Big Bro made. And super fly pie, you already know, Uncle Phil made. Carlton's like, yo, can we disqualify them just by the name? So Hillary goes in, she eats the pie that she made for Uncle Phil. And of course, she's like, yeah, that's a good pie. But then she eats Big Bro's pie. And she's like, oh, but this pie right here, this hot, you know, hot summer pie, this pie is super good. Like, I can't resist it. And of course, Big Bro's like, I got you, because it's tied 5-5. But of course, Hillary was the, you know, person to determine who wins. He's like, that's right, I won again. You know what I'm saying? So Uncle Phil basically confesses on himself. He's like, yo, are you going against the same pie that you made? So, of course, Big Bro's like, yo, you cheating now? Hillary's like, yo, dog, like, for real? You giving yourself up like that? He's like, yo, I can't believe you cheating. And Uncle Phil's like, well, you cheated 2 years ago. He's like, so he walks away like, you know, I already won. He's like, it don't matter. So they going back and forth. You know how brothers do it, right? It's crazy. So Will rolls up on Jeffrey, brings him a pie, saying that the pie is super good. Hillary makes the pie. So, of course, Will is on some like, yo, I've been thinking about it all day. So Jeffrey knows. He slides over the picture and shows Will a picture of his son. He's like, yo, so what's going on with your son? Why didn't you tell me? And Jeffrey is like, yo, I didn't know how you would feel about it, you know, being that your situation is the way it is with your dad. So, you know, he doesn't really know what to do. And he doesn't want to ruin his son's life. So Will is looking at the picture. You know, he looks similar to him. And Jeffrey really doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to disrupt his son's life. At the same time, you know, he wants to see his son. So Will's like, listen, you know, it's probably best to see your son and let him know how good of a person you are. You know, this way he won't have to imagine who you are. Similar to what Will was going through with his own father, imagining who his father was. So Will gives him some good advice. Jeffrey says, I appreciate you. It's all good. So now here we are. We got Uncle Phil, and he's like, listen, you know, we got this tag football thing going on. You know, we going to win. And, of course, Carlton's like, yeah, of course, we got this. You know what I'm saying? We got this. He's like, yo, but I brought in somebody else to kind of help us win. Who is it? Of course, LaMarcus, NFL player. And, you know, Carlton's not really feeling it. He's like, yo, I just thought it was going to be me and you, Dad. You know, we was going to make this thing happen and win, but nope, it's not happening. So the oldest member comes over and says, hey, I don't get desserts. He's like, oh, you talk. He's like, listen, you grab a couple of those cookies and I'll talk all night long. So super cute. So she grabs the cookies. You already know she wants to talk to him. Here we go with Carlton playing games. He's trying to just get away. And here we go with his cousin. And he's like, yo, what's going on? You good? Yeah, you know, we got this flag football, da-da-da-da. And they're talking about how, you know, his dad always kind of makes him feel bad, makes him feel like nothing. And Carlton understands, you know, the pressures of just being a son with a, you know, overachieving dad and wants him to win. So he offers him a game to play, and they definitely play a game and kind of bond. So here we go with Ashley. And you know she's impressed with Black history. Come to find out, Big Unc, man, he was a red tail and he was part of, you know, the whole Tuskegee Airmen and everything else like that. So he's a living legend, was in World War II. You know, definitely there's a lot of people, great people in their family, and she's finding out all this information. So he's like, yeah, listen, I've been around. So, you know, she loves history, especially Black history and her own history. So she's hype about that. So here we go with this guy. He's like, yeah, you know, Will, I can understand what the pressures are being at Bel-Air. I played at Bel-Air and, you know, the teams. He said, yeah, but you're playing with this other team. It's going to take you to the next level, you know, and I understand about doing things and by any means necessary and making it happen. He's like, yo, it's got to be crazy in the NFL. He's like, I got to prove myself every day. So then he's looking over at Hillary and he says, you know, I still got to prove myself, and I'm going to prove myself to Hillary, that I want her back, that I'm the man that needs to be in her life. I know she got a man, but, it is what it is. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get back in her life. Of course, Will is like, what? Like, damn, this is definitely going to be super messy, right? So here we go with the flag football game. It's time to make it happen. Everybody's playing hard. Bill Bellamy, they in pain. These old dudes are in pain, but they playing hard with the NFL players and the young guys. And yeah, he's definitely catching the ball. They praising, Hillary's ex. And of course, she's rolling her eyes like, oh, God, she's feeling real bad because she wanted Jazz to be there, but he's, definitely not answering her text. So they playing a good game. It's coming down to the wire. One more touchdown and Uncle Phil wins the game, right? He's like, yeah, I told you we was going to win, and he's like, you got an NFL player playing for you. That's not even fair. You're cheating again, right? So they can win the game, and it's going to be up to whoever catches that ball and scores the touchdown without getting their flag, taken from them. So here we go. Everybody's ready. Everybody's set. Carlton, he knows what's going on in between his cousin and his uncle. So, yeah, he pushes dude out the way. Carlton goes for the touchdown, right? He goes to the area, goes to the goal. He's waiting for Uncle Phil to throw the ball. Uncle Phil throws the ball, but then he looks at his cousin and feels bad about his cousin, right? And he catches the ball, but then he drops the ball, right? And of course, his cousin looking on like, yo, I wasn't even on him. Nobody was there, So he drops the ball on purpose. Why did he do that? We all kind of know why he did that, because he wanted his cousin and his uncle to be cool again, and for, his cousin to feel like he's worth it, because he doesn't feel like he's worth it to his dad. So, of course, big bro wins, his uncle wins, and yeah, Carlton's like, okay, he's just looking on. So we're going to find out more about that. So here we go with Grandma Banks, and she's like, listen, hey, Viv, you did a great job. She's like, nah, this was all Phil. And she's like, nah, behind every great man barbecue, there's a woman doing all the work. So I want to give you your props. I know it's a lot to deal with these guys, a lot to deal with me. And she's like, well, you could always come to Bel-Air. And she's like, nah, I want my independence. I ain't trying to live with y'all. She's like, I'll give you some more of that liquor, So they bond and it's all good. So here we go with Big Bro. And Big Bro's knees is all, he got to ice his knees up. He's like, what was we thinking? And Uncle Phil's like, I thought we was going to win. Come down to it, Big Bro always wanted to be first because, their pops made his big brother feel like he wasn't worth it. He asked his father, couldn't he go to college? And his father told Big Bro, that's Phil's thing. Phil is going to go to college. So he's always backing up Phil to go to college and to get his education, but he never really backed up Big Bro. So we finding out a whole lot about the family dynamic, but Uncle Phil's like, listen, you still my big brother and I love you and it's all good. So here we go with Uncle Phil, and he's telling Carlton, hey, you never missed, a catch like that. And now they looking back and seeing how, Big Bro and his son is good. He's like, listen, I know what you did out there, and I'm proud of you that you did that, for them. He said, I never want you to feel like you're not worth it and that I don't love you. It's all good. So now here we go with Will rolling up on Big Bro. And he's like, yo, man, you really inspired me with your story. Whether we go to college or not, definitely put that work in and we can achieve whatever it is. He's like, yo, I appreciate you, Unc, for doing that, right? So here we go with this. Will rolls up on Carlton and he's like, hey, listen, I'm still going to go for that founders thing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you act like you're really going to win. So, they talking junk or whatever, but it's still all love and it's all, respect between the cousins. So Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv, looking on everybody. What a great family reunion. It's all good. She's like, listen, I'm going to keep my options open. I may become a partner. She's like, well, we're going to have to deal with her. And he's like, listen, we can accomplish everything together, right? So Will rolls up on Uncle Phil like, yo, man, this is a great family reunion. I'm loving the folks. He's like, yeah, it's all good. It's all family. That's what it's all about. So here we go with Big Bro, and he goes up there. He's like, first off, I got permission from Uncle Phil to talk, right? So he's giving his little bro, respect. And he's like, yo, I just want to thank, Uncle Phil, and the family for putting a great family reunion together. He's like, are you entertained? And he's like, yeah, they definitely hype. And they, he calls Phil over. He's like, listen, we're changing the tradition, and now we're going to take the trophy and we're going to give it to the oldest living legend of our family, thank you for your service. And they give him the trophy, just showing honor, showing respect. Thank you for your service. Now it's time to party. It's time for the Soul Train line. So everybody's getting up, having fun. Grandma Banks, Big Bro, Ashley, and Big Uncle's dancing. Of course, you got Jeffrey just walking through with the ladies. Your boy LaMarcus is looking around for Hillary, can't find him. And, they having fun, having a good time. He rolls inside and sees that Hillary is like on her phone. He's like, yo, what's going on? They playing our song. Come on, get up. Let's dance. Let's dance. So she's getting up. Oh, shoot. They're dancing a little bit. And then they go outside. She's been texting Jazz all day, all night. And finally, Jazz texts back like, yeah, come through. I'll leave the door unlocked. So that's the end of episode 6 recap of Bel-Air. Family, drop your comments below. Let me know, is Hillary in trouble? And will Jeffrey definitely go and seek out his son? We shall see in that next episode, family. I appreciate you all for watching. Listen, if you found me for the first time, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, absolutely comment, and definitely share with everybody you know. Family, I appreciate you and for your love, your support, your shares, and everything. Family, you already know what it is. Definitely check out, this video right here if you're loving and liking this video. And I appreciate you all for watching. Until next time, salute.